but I prefer pen and paper.
Dude, I don't fucking blame you. I tried digital, and it just made me want to kill people. I hate.
The only reason I would do it now is I don't have the stuff to do professional quality and translate it over
right,
to
let me
a
get
computer.
this shit set up so I can throw the link out.
Ugh.
Bear in mind, we are live. I'm just sending the link out.
Oh, I'm just yakking then. Hello, people.
So is Josh gonna watch the chat then? Or
If he
should I
wants,
pull
if
it
he's
up on
not
my
playing,
phone?
I'll send him the link so he can watch the chat.
If you send it to me,
I'm
I'll
betting
be
ready to. I'm
all
putting the tags
creepy
on.
like.
I'm putting the tags on. Hold on.
Be all like, how you people's doing?
Don't
Oh my
be
god.
a creeper.
This is your old friend, Uncle Joe, and I'm just right over here.
Stop
If you
it!
ever need to wander on over, I'll be right here
Stop
when you need me.
it, sir! You're terrible.
I actually had an uncle that talked like that.
Oh god.
He was
No.
he was the nicest guy, not a creeper, but boy, his voice didn't help. Would you guys like some pie?
Okay, Revan says he has the link too.
Stop calling me.
No!
Motherfucker.
You can't make me.
I don't even know who you are.
Some
That's
people are
normal.
dumb and useless, and Molly, you have your own water.
I should probably
Actually,
call
the
this
uncle
guy
that
and
talked like
ask
that.
him about a thing. I don't know.
Well, my favorite
You
is like,
your own water,
hey,
cat.
hey, I was
Boy, you're
drunk
going to be
last
a mess.
night. Is Big John there? Cause you know, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a menace, huh?
My God,
she's-
man, our address is literally just the one that people give out to chicks at clubs.
That was especially bad in North Carolina, man. Oh my fucking god. We get so many weird ass phone calls. I met you at the
Jazz,
club
so
the
that when
other
you
night.
malfunction,
And I'm
not
like, what?
if, you don't knock them over.
Like in
Because
North
I
Carolina,
know
we
you.
constantly had motherfuckers going, but we met at the club. But bitch, I don't go to clubs. What the fuck are you talking about?
I really
You
dislike how
stop.
I sound. Incel Joe, you know nothing of incels.
Oh my god.
God.
Yo, get out from that jet. I'll get it in just a sec. Yes, I know. I know what's up there. He's trying to get his, Oh my god, now they're leaving fucking voice. Fine. If it's important, I'll get back to you.
Get hyped, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright,
God.
Jet. Alright. For fuck's sake, boy.
He's like, what?
Everything's
I
going wrong
want
at once. I'm trying to untangle my
what?
headset cord from shit. My cat's trying to pull shit off the shelf.
I just like things, man. I'm a cat. I got an addiction.
He's trying to get his rope toy off the shelf.
I got a sickness. How can you
There.
judge me?
Molly.
There you go.
Molly.
It was at
It's
the same time.
Molly.
It was cute. At the same time, it was really inconvenient because he's trying to climb up the side of the shelf to pull his rope toy down off it.
Oh
course
my
he is.
lord. But I want.
Molly.
All right.
Molly Doodles.
I joined the stream. First words. You know nothing of incels.
Okay, so now I sent you the link. I need you to watch the chat.
Armchair said. I actually have the thing up.
Okay,
and looking
awesome.
at it.
Thank you. All right. Let me minimize this and close this.
I'll help keep an eye on the chat as well.
Thank you. Well, you're going to be playing and ranting, so Josh can manage that.
Oh, I promise I will be ranting. Some people deserve their spleens rearranged.
All right. Now the question here is, let me look at my character. Kitala, do you have anybody you need to work on? Because I'm just kind of fucking around.
I was playing my warrior a little bit. She's still, I fed her a bunch of tomes of knowledge
You got
because
story shit to
AW was
do?
kind and made me armor. But yeah, I have a ton of story stuff to do on her yet.
All right. What level is she?
Right now she's 80 because I dumped a bunch of
What level's your story
frickin-
stuff? Will you get out of here?
Hey, Mike.
my story
Yeah.
stuff. I
What's up?
believe is
Oh, go ahead. I'll say it after.
Okay, say it
okay.
now.
I was gonna say I believe my story stuff is like down in the level 30 range.
All right. Now what were you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say your subscriber number bounced up back in.
Oh my god.
You're back up to
I don't
29.
even understand. You know.
It's
No,
that
29.
normal
No,
YouTube
29 is what I dropped down to. I was at 31 at one point.
thing. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I thought it got down to 27.
No, it's been at 29 for like 2 days. Can't we
YouTube
stop?
likes to purge
I don't
sometimes.
understand.
It really does. It's weird.
Okay, so you said you
More
got
than a little bit
a
annoying.
30 range story stuff?
Yeah, I do. Let me get her out because I was fucking around on my.
But welcome everyone to the stream. This is Incel Wars 50.
What's wrong
And
with you?
what you're going to see is you're going to see everyone taken downtown by the welding mask.
Jeez. Fucking hell.
Potato Revan is shilling. Damn it, man. Old media guy, subscribe.
OG. Hey, thanks a lot for the subscription, man, if you're on.
I'm being attacked by cats. No.
Yeah, so am I. Jet's over here trying to climb on my
Not
chair.
like this.
Well, I might as well
He's
bring
helping,
my
isn't he?
freaking mechanical-handed fucking menace. At least until we get to Claw Island, at which point I'll have to switch to my sniper.
No, take the lady. She's better for subscriptions.
God.
So, Kitala, as we're getting started, because I'm going to have to get back to where you are, where am I meeting you once you drop me a...
So I
a
suggest
group
meeting
invite?
me in Lion's Arch because
Okay.
that's where I am and that's where my story instance is.
Okay, then. Oh, shit.
I
it
don't
opened
remember
up.
who I joined with this character. It's been that long since I did her
Oh,
story.
wow, really? Ooh.
Smoking Patriot says, "What's up, y'all?" And thank you, old media guy. You are indeed a young man beyond your years.
A young man.
Wow.
That's the thing, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a thing.
and you said Lion's Arch?
Lion's Arch, yeah, go,
That horrific human capital?
Actually, no. The horrific human capital is Divinity's Reach.
Is it okay that I find them equally offensive?
Fair enough.
You have 7 watching.
Nice.
So I heard tell of
yes,
rage
let's let
hatred.
Kitala lead that in.
So, the new...
Hiya, Eve.
Yeah, so the new, like,
Rooster
the new Netflix Transformers, so they were doing a trilogy, quote unquote. Well, the most recent I guess episode in it dropped, and apparently Air Razor, I couldn't remember her name for like 5 seconds. Air Razor and Black Arachnia are now in a they're hinting.
Oh,
okay,
fucking course
they're doing this fucking queer bait thing where they're hinting that they might be in a relationship and all this stuff, but it's so painfully obvious at this point you can't even call it queer bait.
I need to point this out.
Hello, Cold Fusion.
In Beast Wars, weren't Black Arachnia and Silverbolt a thing?
Yes, they were.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember for sure.
So in all of her incarnations except for this one, Black Arachnia has been straight. Right?
Yeah.
It's this stupid thing that people have been doing forever. Of, okay, we have to take this one character that we know, like, a certain quote-unquote demographic really likes and change them just to pander to these twats.
So you think that's what the main reason they did it?
It's Rooster Teeth, dude.
I guarantee you that's the one and only reason they
Let's
did it.
look at it this
It's
way.
Rooster Teeth.
Given the restructuring, quote-unquote, of Rooster Teeth's writers and the Bumblebee fucking debacle in Ruby, I don't doubt that one fucking bit.
Oh, do you think it could also have been spite?
Possibly both.
I think it was probably both. Pandering and spite. I guarantee you that's
where
what
we
it was
headed,
for.
Kitala, while we're talking.
Alright, I just have to go right here. Oh, that's funny. The floaty green thing disappeared.
We got Eve, old media guy, and Cold of Fusion O Waffles.
Nice to see you all. Thanks for showing up.
Hi guys. I see 8 people watching. Got it up on my phone.
Hey, thanks everybody who's hanging out. What are those wings?
Those are... hang on. Those are those.
Ah, okay. Where'd you get those?
Black Lion box.
Ah, okay.
Don't ask me how many keys it took me.
Oh god, I don't even
Fuck
know.
my life.
Get out of there, Spike. Jet.
Gosh, girl.
Is Lily being a pain?
Yeah, we just got unicorned by Matt G. He drove by us with unicorns and threw them.
Wow.
Like
I'm
5
at
of
G.
them. How dare you throw 5 unicorns with pink mames at me, sir?
Real luck.
Where am I going to keep them?
Faith can be treacherous. No freaking duh.
Can be? Can be. You mean is? Like inherently treacherous.
Keith.
But let's get back on the Transformers rant, because that's part of why we're here.
Welcome, fellow
That is
members
part of why we're
Destiny's Edge.
here. Anyway, as I was
must
saying,
speak
they
of the
deliberately
threat of the
made,
Elder
they purposefully,
When I
I think
agreed to
for both
come, I didn't
spite
know you'd
and
be
pandering,
inviting this
put,
charm.
Airazor in a gay relationship with Black Arachnia.
Finally crawling back for forgiveness, Logan.
Okay.
I've
And
done nothing that needs to
another
be
YouTuber commented on it and was going, they're, you know, basically they're
Kate,
robots,
I
why are
doubt
you
that we
doing
can unite
this?
again.
Well,
Not after our last mistake.
unfortunately or fortunately, depending on
Orange
how you
right.
look at it,
Who
that's been a
cares? The
thing
Vulcan
since
makes
G1.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Is that what you
weirdos
think,
have
Sandra?
been
That what happened was my
screwing
fault?
up the entire franchise
Please, all of
pretty
you.
much
Our
ever
time
since
has come.
Marvel got involved in
must help the
1986.
IDW just seemed to have capitalized on it.
That's pretty much what happened.
Because
Marvel
someone
decided
above
that
us.
no, we're a bunch of
You have something to
maladapted
say it to my
5-year-olds trapped in
I
adult
would if you
bodies,
weren't
and we
always
have to
running
use
away.
this specific
I should've cut you
franchise
and be done with
to
it.
make us feel better
Like me?
about
With
our
what? That human-made sword you
weird
looted
sexual
from
hang-ups
Ascalon?
and
I've had
mommy
enough.
daddy
What's on
issues.
here?
Running away.
Oh, my favorite of all the issues. That makes a lot of cash at
Just making
therapy
it
circles.
Blah.
Ha! Look who's
And
talking.
I bet you, any
Logan's
Marvel
right, for
writer, you
once.
could put
I have
them
more
in a
important things
room
to
with
do.
a
I've done it
psychiatrist,
this.
and all the psychiatrist could
I
pick and choose
refuse
what they
to
wanted to
waste my efforts
what
on
they wanted to
cowards
treat.
and fools.
They'd still make their
Goodbye,
fucking
Keith.
fortune and be able to retire early.
It's sad to see.
Well,
Logan
I guess
leave.
it's a matter
If
of
only there was
how good of a
something
deal you
to
have
hold
with
them
the
together.
pharmacist.
Yes,
Huh.
I know it might help. Keith, I have
Jack,
to
what are
leave
you
as well.
doing?
I fear this
But
meeting will
Potato
be
Revan thinks he
but
can
maybe
breathe
I
in
can
space. This would be most
failed,
unfortunate.
then.
That's not a
Failed to
theory
bring
you're going to
Destiny's
want
Edge
to test
back
there, buddy.
He cannot help the others.
But let's
How can we
continue
help
this
Eve,
imbecility.
honey, they have been putting woke stuff in Transformers since the 80s.
Yeah,
I shit you not.
I wish that
they
was not
have.
true.
So when the original
out.
G1 series
Out.
ended,
Out.
after the after the clusterfuck that was the movie and the entire ongoing slow motion
The issue
train
with
wreck
the
that were
movie,
the next
Oh,
the
no.
next 2 seasons.
I was going to say, the issue with the movie was predominantly they decided to use it as a means to literally kill characters off that they didn't
Well-
think were profitable.
Yeah, well, okay, so they decided to use it as a means to kill characters off that they didn't think were profitable. They also decided that it could be their means to completely fuck up certain characters' personalities. I'm not going to go into that because I will rant for 10 hours.
Oh,
But
the rant's part of
After
why
the
we're here.
After the clusterfuck that was that movie and the ongoing slow motion tornado effect that was the last 2 seasons of the show, they ended it and went to the comics. Now, the comics themselves were kind of a clusterfuck. They killed Optimus Prime off like 10 times in the G2 comics alone, in increasingly horrifying ways. Any child who watched original G1 was going to be traumatized. There was just no... There was no chance of not. They also decided retroactively, according to the writers of the Marvel Comics, the Transformers were completely genderless, and it was only due to dealing so heavily with alien races that they came up with this idea of romantic relationships and gender and all this shit, which is
despite
bullshit.
the fact that the original
Bullshit.
canon made it very clear that Cybertronians did have genders, they just weren't born in the traditional, like, mammalian sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
oh.
so if you go back through G1, the only reason that the Decepticons were so confused when they ran across Alita 1 and her resistance cell, it was because the Decepticons thought that all the female Transformers were killed off, both
Yeah.
theirs and the Autobots.
It wasn't that they didn't exist, it's just that they thought they were dead.
Well, it's
Yeah,
kinda like,
they thought they were all killed off.
how Potato Revan and Armchair both said there's transgender Transformers.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
an
there
IDW
is. That's an
development, by the
IDW
way,
thing.
those
Now-
motherfuckers.
Back to the G2 comics. okay? The G2 Comics decided that there was this thing called the
Quick question,
Covenant of-
Kitala.
Hmm.
Can you rant and act at the same time?
Yeah, I started going. Anyways, so yeah. Like I said.
So, to kind of
Why is
try
there
to
a
direct
marker
it a
over
bit.
there? What's going on?
Oh no.
So, what's going on currently is they're changing a character
they
sexuality to which they artificially introduced in comics.
Well,
and such.
they sexuality swapped, but they brought back something really horrible from IDW.
And
Yeah.
they're
That's
trying
what
to
we were about to get
basically-
into.
Okay, so what's the other offense that they've done?
The cult.
The cult. I'm not familiar with this. Could you explain it?
Have at
Go
it,
for it,
Kitala. You can have it.
So I haven't watched enough of new Transformers.
Yeah.
But we know it's a thing.
Oh yeah.
But
Anyways.
why would there be
Well,
a
he
cult?
would like an explanation of the original cult and why it's an issue.
I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so as I was saying, where do I need to go? As I was saying, the G2 Comics came up with this idea of what they called the Covenant of Primus. Basically, Transformers have a deity or two, depending on who you ask, and the idea is that Transformers were genderless due to this thing, supposedly. Now,
Yeah.
this didn't exist until the G2 Comics. They created this for the G2 Comics. Now, my thinking is, and always has been, that they created this because some maladapted child trapped in an adult body was like, I have weird issues with sexuality, and I have weird issues with my own gender, so I have to force my own viewpoints off onto this children's franchise.
By coming up with
because
this
I'm
weird
an edgy piece of shit.
by coming up with this weird bullshit alleged Cybertronian theology.
Yeah. Like, it was not a thing. It was not ever a thing until the G2 Comics, and it really irritates me that people defend the G2 Comics against anything that's come after, because the G2 Comics were really, honestly, what started the clusterfuck to begin with. It's ground zero for the trash that has been crammed into Transformers.
Okay.
That's enough, War Master.
Like, this
Thank you,
whole
believers.
nonsense
The Vigil will
of
do our best to keep
Transformers not having a gender until they came into contact with alien races, or Transformers suddenly being sexual beings. Okay, so that was Alex Kurtzman in the Michael Bay movies. But IDW took both those things and conglomerated them together to make one giant bomb of cringe and pandering.
That's a way to put it.
A dragon rose in Ascalon. It
Alright.
But let's carry on with the.
I stood beneath
So,
the dragon as it
cut to
passed
today,
overhead.
after all of this has happened, IDW and their we need transgender robots just because, Rooster Teeth,
Or to keep making Megatron a hero.
Motherfuckers. They've been trying to make Megatron a hero since the G2 Comics, I fucking swear.
Oh yeah, but IDW actually fucking did it.
Yeah, they did. Don't get me started on Lost Light or any of the other
Oh,
bullshit
you know what?
that they crammed into the-
I fully encourage once we finish this rant, we get right into fucking Lost Light.
Okay.
I mean, people didn't like Rodimus, but he's way better hero material than Megatron. And it started before Lost Light, by the way.
Oh,
This
I
started
know.
back when IDW bought the fucking license.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a tangent.
Oh, we can
So-
come back to it.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll shred this thing a new asshole eventually. We may shred it many. So, cut to current era, generation, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth got the license to make Transformers animated content.
Mhm.
Your representative sent me a
They
message saying that you're the best
started
they've ever seen.
off They decided they were going to make the War for Cybertron trilogy. Instead of using the story that was set out in the War for Cybertron games, which admittedly had a few issues that I didn't like, but overall were great. Instead of continuing that story,
Look here, young
they
one.
completely
I don't care what you've
revamped
done in the past.
the story,
Vigil needs
the
heroes, not
characters,
tale-tellers.
everything.
It's
In
what you
the
do
first
today, not
of the
yesterday
trilogy,
that
in
matters to
Fall
me.
of Cybertron,
Understood.
they killed off something like 4 or 5 major characters. I know Skywarp was killed, Ultra Magnus was killed.
And they turned Thundercracker into a fucking drama queen.
Yes, they did. It was a travesty and a shit show, and many other fucking. Anyways, getting off topic again. So they did all that. From the get-go, they also deliberately made Optimus Prime seem like a completely ineffectual, completely useless, self-doubting, like a completely ineffectual leader, like someone you would never follow, right? They did this on purpose. So
effectively, they took a lot of the established things and then they altered them just enough that they could think with things.
They pulled what I would call a slow burn Alex Kurtzman, trying to undermine the established to replace it with their stupid ideas.
So I want this character to be heroic.
Let me bear in mind too another thing.
This other one in the mold.
Let me bear in mind too another thing that I want to share is in this fucking trilogy of Cybertron, they made Bumblebee a fucking mercenary.
Who was offered a place to join the Autobots and who then refused for reasons they could never quantify.
Never mind that Bumblebee's been an Autobot for as long as fucking Prime has.
So
Bumblebee has been an Autobot since he first existed.
Yeah.
So what we could just say this series is subversive.
That's a fucking word for it.
That's a way to put it.
Because it undermines all the established tropes.
What am I doing?
Undermines the characters how they are from what I remember and what you're explaining, and is twisting things to make the bad. It's like taking Hitler and making him the good guy.
Well, that's actually what they've done, and what they did was take all of the Michael Bay stuff, all of this other bullshit that should honestly have not existed, and just fucked it all together in a blender, hit frappe, and wrote a fan fiction off what they had left.
Did I go the right way? I don't see you.
You need to go through the gate to Lion's Arch.
I'm in Divinity's Reach right now. Where the hell are you?
Oh, hang on. I think we got instanced. I'm gonna do
Oh, shit. That would fucking explain a lot. Okay,
know,
please
Ryan.
continue. Jesus. I like your character, by the way.
Yeah.
Alright, so they've subverted, they've altered, and they're twisting
we haven't
it.
even gotten to what made me rage quit yet.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Alright, well let's hear about that.
Oh! What made me rage quit? They decided, in all of their glorious arrogance... Need to look at a map here. There we go.
That's a strange thing for them to do, but continue. I'm joking.
They decided, in all their glorious arrogance, to do the thing that they always do when they discover that there's a pre-existing, or even if they decide to make one from scratch, a female character.
Ugh.
Oh, is this the tradition of Hollywood?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, Farv,
Yeah.
would you like to explain to the class who Alita 1 is?
Alita 1, as memory serves, was Prime's basically Prime's soulmate. I can't think of a better way to put it.
She was. So, originally, in G1, before everybody got started fucking with it, in G1, she was Optimus Prime's girlfriend before he even was Optimus Prime. Then, when Megatron decides, I'm going to destroy half the city, Alpha Trion rebuilt both of them because they were both nearly destroyed. Optimus Prime then became Optimus Prime, Alita 1 then became Alita 1. Originally, it was Orion Pax was Optimus and Ariel was Alita 1.
Yeah, when they were rebuilt, they were renamed, basically.
Yes. When they were rebuilt, they were renamed. They still had some of their old memories, but not all of them. Now, what they did in this new series because originally Alita 1 and Optimus, they were, you know, they were basically soulmates, right? And they had this obvious, like, respect and love for each other that you could, like, even though it was an 80s cartoon and
yeah, I was like,
the
despite
animation
how
was a little wonky, you could see it. Like,
her
you could see how much they cared about each other.
Despite her brief appearance, even in G1, you could tell what they were going for.
Yeah. Now, cut to now, when Rooster Teeth has the license. She is an evil, conniving, shrewish, disrespectful bitch.
Which, by the way, if I may, is a very blatant and unnecessary carryover from IDW.
Yes, it is.
So she works at the DMV?
Sure, we'll go with that.
IDW made Alita 1 a horrible, kind of traitorous bitch. And for some reason, RT, you know, the geniuses that decided that Yang and fucking Blake were gay suddenly for no reason, decided they needed to do this.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Alita 1. She never betrayed the Autobots, per se, as such. No. When the war was ended, and Starscream somehow suddenly ended up as the leader of Cybertron, she's running around being a fucking domestic terrorist to try and cause civil unrest so they'll overthrow Starscream.
Yeah.
Because everything is broken.
That sounds like a
It's so effeminate,
with the exception of the Archie Comics writers, they fucking scooped up to do the Sonic run. IDW has not a single writer that knows how to write anything that isn't nihilist bullshit.
Well, Cold Fusion Waffles said, Kitala is to IDW what Nikolai was to Raccoon City Hospital.
Oh! Oh,
wow, sir.
I mean, to be fair, what would that fucking make me, Wesker? Jesus Christ.
You're ordering the hit? I'm just saying. Well, in this context, ladies and gentlemen, what we mean is someone who has a negative impact on the company's sales due to poor product management and production.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
I didn't have
not extreme hatred for healthcare.
Oh, yeah, that's a separate issue. Thank you.
So, here's the thing about that. I had nothing to do with IDW trying to commit ritual seppuku.
No.
Right?
They just have a lot of respect for Japan.
Huh?
They just have a lot of respect for Japan, that's why.
IDW, right? They have done so poorly with basically every single franchise that they have in their collection.
Slow down, I'm an engineer.
Whoops, sorry.
I think, what is their best seller? Isn't it the Sonic?
Yeah,
those
Sonic comics by the Archie Comics guys who used to write Sonic, I think are one of their best-selling properties right now.
And they had to bring in guys from Archie Comics to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they did. Now, another thing too, those are actually the only things that are selling.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, the comic that started the whole Alita 1 as a domestic terrorist thing, that was canceled. Then, and it was canceled because of how badly they represented all the female characters, not just Alita 1. It was canceled because they weren't selling. They had an annoying, obnoxious little self-insert that was written and created by
Windblade
fucking girls with no brains.
Fucking Windblade.
Like,
well,
seriously,
I mean, like,
a context character that was supposed to have one design.
I say,
right?
and like, say what you want about the one I like, but she's nowhere near.
No, she's no Windblade. My God. So the contest character that is Windblade, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was supposed to be built off of a winning design. Well, the people running the contest couldn't decide what design they liked better. So again, they took 4, not 2, not 3, 4 different band designs. Again, once again, flung them in a blender and hit frappe, and look what came out.
Which seems like a bad idea, you know, just in general.
The most generic, wannabe Japanese, just absolutely just a travesty of a character in every conceivable way.
And here's
right?
the thing, I will agree with AW on one thing. She is a pretty design, but she doesn't belong in Transformers.
No, if they were going to do that design, right, they should have put it in, like, I don't know, something that wasn't.
Something not She looks more like an android or something than a Transformer.
Yeah.
I've said that before.
She'd fit into Borderlands.
She might actually
Yeah,
work
she
as a
actually
Borderlands
probably would
robot.
fit
Because
into
there was Geisha Bot.
Yeah,
in
the Geisha Bot
Borderlands.
in the pre-sequel, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
actually,
okay.
that's what she reminds me of.
So they
Every time I see that fucking character.
They mischaracterized the females. They introduced a we insert. Let's trick the fans into allowing us to do this character, and you're not a fan of Windblade.
Also,
right.
AW, I don't appreciate that. He's not fat, he's just carrying a bunch of heavy shit and a pair of turbines on his back.
He's an alright design, AW, but not for Transformers. Honestly, the IDW designs for Transformers, most of them are shit. It's all, like, an insane clusterfuck of moving parts and spikes. Like, why? What was wrong with the G1 designs? Oh, that's right, you couldn't feminize them that way.
That is, yeah, it was pretty easy, even in G1, with the more simplified art style, to tell what was male and what was fucking female.
Well, not only that, okay, IDW deliberately made it so that you couldn't tell what parts would go where when they'd transform, right?
Michael Bay in that shit.
Yeah, well, you know,
Shit.
again, they've been
Burrito.
working at this for a very long time.
Yeah.
First destroying the characters, like the characters.
There were
Did we just go back to the
Transformers
portal
in those Michael Bay films. I thought he was just making love to the American Armed Forces again.
No, that's the side effect of most of his movies. No, the Transformers thing specifically was the fact that, okay, in my opinion, Bay's problem was, Bay was a hyperactive, excited kid who was not really a Transformers fan as much as he was a TMNT fan, who was set loose at the script table with barely any supervision. And
Michael Bay didn't do the script.
That's what I'm saying. That was like, he was there as a producer, but he didn't have enough supervision. So when the script came in, what did he have to say?
He didn't care. See, what happened was Michael Bay told Kurtzman, "You give me a script and I'll direct it," because at the end of the day, he didn't care.
Because he wasn't a Transformers guy.
To play Hob and do whatever the hell he wanted.
And as much as I don't like Bay, I've seen what happens when Bay is better supervised and given more to work with. And that was that second TMNT movie, which was actually fairly entertaining.
The second TMNT movie was actually pretty good, in my opinion.
And I was like, okay, this is fucking surprising when I saw it. But those Transformers movies are... You liked that movie too, shut the hell up.
Silence!
But it's like, So Bay has his part of blame in that, but that's largely Kurtzman, which could lead us directly into Prime, which was also his abomination.
Every time Kurtzman touches something, guys, it quickly degenerates into travesty.
The motherfucker turns franchises into what happens when you look inside the Ark of the fucking Covenant.
Yeah, pretty much.
I agree with you, Armchair. That's what he did in number 4, basically make love to the Chinese Communist Party.
Yes, God.
Hilariously, Bay didn't really want to do that, and he was very, upset with the way those last 2 movies went.
Well, I think that's...
But he couldn't get funding from Chevrolet anymore, so he had to get his money from somewhere else, so he had to play games with China.
Sadly.
One hot, sweaty man or another.
Like I said, I don't in general like the guy that much, but the fact that he had to do that should have been a symbol to the studio to just let that shit die.
Yeah. Because Michael Bay actually didn't want to do that, but, he was contracted for 2 more movies, so he's like, fine. If you know anything about Michael Bay, yeah, he's a terrible and somewhat annoying director, but he does have a weirdly large amount of pride in and love for his own country.
Yeah, he's pretty much a patriot with some goofball exceptions. And the other issue is, like, when the guy's got actual passion for something, you can at least tell.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's that. Alright. Well, is there anything else about what's been currently going on with Transformers? Okay, hold it
Transformer
in.
becomes Megatron.
Yes.
Nah, that's Beast Wars
But,
Megatron.
But it's the funniest Megatron. Just a super cut of him just saying yes all the time.
Oh,
But
God. Dude, so if we're okay, if we're going to talk Transformers Prime, we also have to talk Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Because Alex Kurtzman wrote the first 2 Michael Bay movies.
Alright.
He was the progenitor of this idea that Transformers reproduce sexually, as in they have sex, make a baby, and shit out an egg.
God, that's not how Cybertronians
Alex
work.
Kurtzman started this. No, it's not how Cybertronians work, but Alex Kurtzman started it. He's the one who came up with it.
Ah, he pushed me first.
I love the
Alex Kurtzman is the one who came up with it, and then IDW, once they got the comics license, they basically decided, yes, we like this. Because then they could use it to pander to all of the useless fake fan twats who'd been screeching "ma representation" for years.
Excuse me just a minute.
Did you throw up a little bit in your mouth?
Blah.
But my representation.
Yeah.
How am I going to get it out of us?
In the ass, like every other director in Hollywood.
No, I am fake. I do not want. But I wish to celebrate to look good. That's generally
So
my
with that,
opinion,
let's have our dig into Prime.
Alright.
He continued his idiocy when he started Prime. And I'll tell you something else. Alex Kurtzman was the executive producer for Transformers Prime.
I'm listening.
Alright.
Oh! Motherfucker!
Whoa.
Alright, fuck you too. That was a great idea, dipshit.
Alright. So,
I did that.
so since he's got done shanking Star Treks, he's now
Done. That
also-
bitch ain't done.
No.
He's still shanking it.
I know,
No,
but once
no,
he gets done with the
started
body.
Transformers
Yeah, he
and
got into
then
Transformers before he ever
transferred to
touched Star Trek. Sad.
What I'm saying is that, you know, he had to be careful. He might circle back.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
If
Like, once that
allowed
horse
to,
is
I
dead.
guarantee you he will.
The
He hasn't
motherfucker
done
is a
it nearly
carrion
enough.
feeder. He's a parasite. So
He's
of
not
course,
just a carrion
if he
feeder,
gets
he's a carrion creator.
if he somehow gets ejected from Star Trek, which is pretty much nigh into impossible now, so when Star Trek is well and truly dead, he might well get fucking shuffled back into fucking Transformers if they decide to do another series.
So what you're saying is we could take that old JoJo's Bizarre Adventure meme, the delicious one, and just put his head on it. And there you go.
Oh,
Gross,
Ugh.
sir.
Delicious.
Gross, sir.
He's that kind of guy.
maybe.
It's my
Oh,
favorite
God.
thing.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Waffle says, wouldn't that be the Bison Yes wave meme?
Ha!
Didn't T-Rex, Megatron, and Bison have the same voice actor?
No, I don't think so, but
I don't know who voiced Megatron in Beast Wars, actually.
Hold on a sec. I'll look that up for
okay,
you guys.
Josh is gonna look it up.
Street Fighter.
Who are you people?
Oh, hey,
Was
it's
it
you again.
cartoon?
I like you.
Yes,
And you
it's
certainly don't look like Vanguard.
Elia.
We're
Or
with the vigil.
Ayla?
We know about
Vala.
I can't remember.
Oh, no,
how
that's
to-
you. You're Vala.
No, Vala
We're
is
here
my
to make sure
character.
you reach him in time.
Holy shit.
An
Oh,
escort?
Ayla. Yeah.
I'm
Ayla
a
Jane.
soldier of the Ebon Vanguard.
Yeah.
I don't need baby.
Let's see. Richard Newman.
We're not babysitters. We're tourists.
Tourists.
Traveling the same road.
Richard
taking in the same
Newman is the
scenery,
one that
meeting the ever-living crowd.
Beast Wars
voiced
Megatron.
Bison.
Oh, Bison. Okay.
You look like a
He was in
fine
My Little
Are
Ponies.
you really gonna tell us where
Jesus.
we can't go and who we can't beat up on?
I wasn't ready for that. Sorry.
You know
Oh,
what's sad?
And you know what? She
Right.
can walk out of salon all she wants, looking like that. That armor is very flattering.
Bob
I
the
know, isn't it, though?
Builder.
It's because Guild Wars doesn't understand the
Never get the
they understand the wallet.
Yeah.
He was Rhinox in Transformers Project Nemesis.
Rhinox?
Interesting.
Okay. Furniture!
Oh, re.
He was Mr. Turtle in Franklin and Friends.
Get
What the
fucking
hell?
dead!
That's kind of funny, actually.
Wow.
He was in Inuyasha.
Okay, wow.
Oh, why did you?
I don't know. I
he
didn't
was
know
in
it.
Black Lagoon.
Was he who?
Ratchet Man.
What? Jeez.
Transformers Cybertron. He was Victor Prime.
Huh, okay.
Random. But
Seeing if
sure,
there's
why not?
anything,
He
He-Man
might
and
not have-
Masters of the Universe 2000 series, Rattler,
Oh,
Lord
wow,
Jackus. He has a really long filmography sometimes.
Yeah, you'd have to find Beast Wars in there.
I don't remember what year it came out. Wasn't it around Reboot?
I think so, yeah.
They aren't even bothering to disguise their ambushes.
My god, he's in a RoboCop Alpha Commando? Oh, jeez. Oh, I hurt inside.
is 2 hulking Char and a Norn.
We have to help her.
It sounds like a joke. G.I. Joe Extreme, Ronin Warriors.
In your own
Okay.
soldiers.
Ronin, wow. Damn, this dude
What
was
are you
everywhere.
doing back here, Forgel?
Talking.
Conan the Adventure.
Oh my god. Was there a
Becky
cartoon
O'Hare.
he wasn't in?
I'm starting to think
Well,
he
it's like
wasn't
trying to figure
everyone.
out if there was a cartoon that Frank Welker wasn't in.
Oh lord.
Okay,
have mercy.
no, I don't see a Beast Wars
Okay,
credit
so
for
he
that.
must not have been Megatron.
But let me check Beast Wars just to see. Maybe they were made.
They might not have got. IMDb is not fucking flawless in their research.
Let's see.
Wrong
Megatron was David K.
Okay, so yeah, not the same person. Get it.
Yes. But Richard Newman was Rhinox in the series.
Huh, okay.
Let's see. Yep.
Now, on to Prime.
Yes, please.
So, after that clusterfuck, Alex Kurtzman and his art director were of one and the same mind. Because that is the most brilliant idea ever, guys.
Did they do the
Hey!
fusion
It
dance?
is.
Oh
Well,
no, they made a femboy fucking Starscream.
I said, did they do the fusion dance?
No.
Honestly, that could only have helped by
The
that
fusion
point.
dance is too high class for those motherfuckers.
Like I said, the fusion dance could only have helped at that point. And do you want to know what the reasoning was? First of all, so there were a few people involved in this travesty, right? Okay, so first of all, some idiot, I believe
Kitala,
it was
wait.
the art director. Oh, did she get stuck?
Yep.
She got stuck.
Let us place names in the book of grudges and
I'm-
hold it dear.
Totally not watching her super closely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hard not to watch her super closely, in fairness.
Yeah.
That giggle is always amazing to me. Favre's evil laugh is great, guys.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Let's see.
Oh, I saw the hostiles down there. They're just scales.
Oh yeah, it's just scales.
That's a sergeant, you blind motherfucker.
It's alright, Cold Fusion. I think we can sometimes get voice actors mixed up.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you haven't watched something.
Yeah, I was
in a
like,
while.
especially if it's something you saw a long time ago and you couldn't remember the actors' names, you know?
Interestingly, hilariously about G1, guess what?
What's up?
Sparkplug and Starscream had the same voice actor.
Minister
Chris Latta
Duran,
did both of them.
Well, I mean, they had limited resources, so it's not
They
as surprising.
did, but it was kind of funny.
You're both in terrible danger.
Like he could make
Danger.
Starscream's
Sergeant.
voice, and then he'd turn
Take a
around
deep
and do
breath and tell me
Sparkplug.
what's
It's like,
going
okie dokie.
Ajax.
Well,
That I
Like
gotta
the,
give you props for.
like the Bugs Bunny is one of his second voice actor, I believe.
We
He
can't
did
Maybe?
like most of the cast at one point.
Did he?
fight.
I'm for some reason forgetting his name.
We could take cover at Summit Peak up ahead.
I'd carry her to the summit area.
We could turn the tables on them
No,
when they
miss,
attack.
you clearly need to be carried all the way to the summit area.
The best defense is usually a good offense. I recommend we find the
What do you
traitor's
think,
base
guys?
and
Why are your
destroy
eyes so
it.
We
sunk
make
into
him
your
come
head,
to
dude?
us. It's because he's
The
old.
Vigil were the
He's
ones to
freaking
uncover this
ancient.
plot.
Eh.
With due respect, sirs, I think we should let them decide if we choose ambush or assault.
So,
Do
like-
we make him come to us, or do we go after them?
So, like, is her armor designed to make you want to ensure that she breathes?
Yes.
Mel Blanc.
Because, like I said...
Mel Blanc. Okay, gotcha.
What now?
Mel Blanc. I believe he did Elmer Fudd. He was also in a
Mel
radio
Blanc.
show.
Mel Blanc was an amazing voice actor who did a shitload of the voice acting back in the OG Looney Tunes.
Well, he also did the one cartoon where he was doing Bugs Bunny, and I believe I get these two ducks mixed up, Daffy
Duck.
And he was doing impressions of one another at the same time.
And somehow didn't get that shit confused.
So he was basically every bit as good of a voice actor as D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah, considering that Mel Blanc
might have been one of the
greatest
best
voice actors like ever.
Not to mention, he worked from 1939.
Oh my god, he was around forever. Did we get separated?
Yeah, for whatever reason, it dropped me out at the end of the instance, and it dropped you out at the
I'll
beginning.
just come to you.
1937. I was wrong.
And when did he fucking finally stop?
I believe it was the last thing he did was a car commercial.
What year was that? Oh my god.
His last thing was in... Trying to get an official.
No problem.
1989.
This
Holy
is how much
damn.
all of us. This is how much all of us absolutely despise Transformers Prime. We've decided it's more interesting
To
to
figure out
talk
where
about
Mel
voice
Blanc
actors.
was working. My
Yes.
god, from 37 to 89.
That's incredible.
Wow. And that's considering the amount of different work he did.
Yeah.
But let's get back into Prime, 'cause that was part of our reasoning.
Alright, so back to the flogging.
The stabbing, you mean?
Whichever. Tomato.
I guess you
Fair
could
enough.
flog him and then stab him.
That might be
You
interesting.
can multitask
So-
and then use alcohol.
So it turns out that Alex Kurtzman and the art director for that show were of much the same mind.
Alright.
So
Are we sure they didn't
Alex
hatch from the same
Kurtzman-
egg?
they probably did, to be fair. They either hatched from the same egg or crawled from the same cesspool as larvae. So Alex Kurtzman basically hinted at this in the Bay movies. Well, Prime turned around and went, "Hold my beer," and decided, yes, we're
For the
going
love
to
of-
now confirm that
Talk some sense into this woman.
Starscream is a
She's
twink
more stubborn than a
femboy who wears
goat
go-go
shaman.
boots.
These are renegades.
Oh, and they
And-
went through with it and then some.
Yes, they did. Well, and not only that, the
The
writing was
dude looks like a
god-awful.
Cybertronian drag act.
Retiring, old man.
They made it even worse. They made it even worse. Wait for it. So,
These are
what they did. So the reasoning behind this was several different reasons, all self-conceived in their own little pea brains. One reason, right? One of the artists said, and this may have been the art director himself. I don't know.
Richard Newman. I'm sorry to interrupt. Waffles found out Richard Newman played Oolong, King Furry, and Captain Ginyu in DBZ.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Slow and careful, and watch out for
that's
surprises.
great.
Recruit, I'm putting you on point. Tell me when you're ready to
All right.
advance.
So back to the travesty and the absolute mind-numbing horror that was Prime. The reasoning. One reason was in one of the artist's words. Is either the director or his immediate second. The idea was that the excuse that they used was, well, Starscream was always more about the brains than the brawn. So
you had to make him a bitch? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, and not only that, so they couldn't even sell the idea that he was smart in the writing, right? Oh no, they deliberately. So
I'm just grenading. Fuck it.
Nice, go for it. Make them all die. So they did this, right?
Right.
Well, what they essentially did was when we're too lazy to make Starscream, and we're all Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah.
Remember, Alex Kurtzman had been going on this trip since the Bay movies.
Yeah.
There was some shit in the Bay movies that I'm still not over.
Done.
So they did all this, right? Now, another, and this I know for a fact was the art director. This guy says, well, I always felt like Starscream was a more feminine character anyway, so logically he should look the part, right? Because reasons? Like,
that was all the reasoning?
Why did you think that?
I have no fucking idea.
Maybe it was French. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that seems without deeper amount of reasoning or logic behind it, it'd be kind of a hang-up of the writers.
Yeah, well, very much.
Maybe they like femboy.
Fuck you, HX.
The writers and the artists were both just really. Damn it.
Shit.
Eventually, I'm going to remember what buttons do what.
Oh, yikes.
I agree. They were really damn it.
The renegades were ready.
Well, they were all fully on board with this.
They just thought they were.
Well, I guess
Like
it
there
does.
was one artist. So when they were doing the concepting for it, right? There was one artist who came up with a concept design for Starscream that basically
we can't afford to be divided.
They were definitely trying to avoid making any callbacks to G1, but it was comparable, right?
Yeah.
Well, the lead artist, the lead art designer and director, made them go back and redo it. And he made them redo it until they had what we got in Prime.
Which was fucking foul.
Yeah. Well, and here's the really crap thing too. They wrote it so that you could actually kind of believe that Starscream was pretty darn smart until Megatron comes back. They brought Megatron back, and all of a sudden, every single character, and not just Starscream, but every single character loses about 100 IQ points just to make Megatron look better.
So they turned Megatron into Pearl Forrester, where everybody around her got actively dumber.
Pretty much. That's pretty much exactly what they did.
It's a weakness of the writers, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, it was parody in MSG3K, but in this, it made no fucking sense.
The entire... So it was pretty much the entire team, to be honest. Like, no one is immune from blame here. No one who worked on this thing. Like, nobody thought to stand up and say, you know what, this is a bad idea.
Well, it's probably because a lot of them aren't very talented. I mean,
probably a lot of them aren't very talented. Also, if you watch the animation, it's definitely interns doing most of that.
Yeah, that's why I said not very talented.
They were talented, it was raw talent. It was like they were straight out of, like they just
I would say, how do I put it? I'd say there was some talent, but they weren't being... A, they weren't being permitted to use it properly, and B, they were being deliberately restricted by bad ideas.
Yeah, they were being deliberately restricted by Kurtzman, his writing team, and his art department.
Maybe a better way to put it is that they weren't forged.
Yeah, that's a reasonable way to put it, I think.
They weren't led, they were more kind of thrown into a barrel and told go to work. Because if you watch the show, which help me, I did, the animation actually gets a lot better as the series progresses, but the writing, oh god, the writing gets fucking worse. Now, this is all linked to IDW and Michael Bay. I shit you not, it's all an incestuous clusterfuck. Because
it's Hollywood.
IDW has been trying to sell this idea that Starscream and Megatron have a thing. Well, this series, they decided, for reasons yet unknown to me, that after Megatron gets killed at the end, so when Megatron gets killed, Starscream's all upset by this, right, and everything.
Despite the fact that's usually the opportunity he's been waiting for.
Cue unending cringe here, right? It was terrible. I'm gonna let you guys watch it for yourself because I am not going to. No, thank you. Suffice to say, they wrote the final, I want to say the entire third season, to make it look like Starscream had a severe case of Stockholm Syndrome for Megatron because reasons. Oh yeah.
Why you remind me of these things?
Because we started ranting.
Yes, we did.
Because
well, you might as well fucking
To
continue.
talk about it. So, they wrote that. Well, then, after Megatron gets killed, you know who kills Megatron? Not Optimus, not Starscream like it should have been. Oh no, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee?
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember that. What?
Yeah, Bumblebee's the one who kills Megatron.
How?
And also in the state... I don't remember exactly, but at some point Megatron ends up with his back to Bumblebee and Bumblebee just shoots him. And also at some point, like this is the point at which we find out that Bumblebee has his voice back because he couldn't talk for the entirety of the
hard to imagine
seasons.
Bumblebee shooting somebody in the back.
I know, right? It's really fucking weird. It's really fucking stupid. They shredded every single character in the series. Like, the sad part about it, right, is they actually somehow managed to get both Frank Welker and Peter Cullen to reprise their classic roles. Somehow,
Money.
They did this because reason. So, anyways, this is also the point, like I said, at which Bumblebee is shown to have his voice back, because through the series up to that point, like the entire series, he couldn't talk. He used Morse code, or a Cybertronian form of Morse code.
Why did they keep doing that? That's a rhetorical question. I know.
And Kurtzman has a fucking boner for it. Kurtzman started it in the Bay movies, and like I said, he has a boner
like,
for it.
OG
He really
Bumblebee was a fucking chatterbox, and like suddenly we had him like silent.
Probably because of some misguided moron.
It's like OG Bumblebee talked just as much as like Cliff Jumper, and then just suddenly they decide, oh yeah, he can't talk.
Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee were like twins, except Cliff Jumper had absolutely no self-control.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is the guy in the first episode he was in that decides to fire his fucking, like, bazooka at Megatron while they're supposed to be observing him.
Yes, and he had not the sense at all to wait for backup. What the? Oh, okay.
Which I thought one of the most hilarious parts in the Fall of Cybertron game were the missions where you were playing Cliff Jumper and Jazz.
Yes.
Because it's just those two freaking snarking at each other for the entire missions.
Yeah. Also, I think if they decided to break the fourth wall like some games have, Cliff Jumper would have been very upset with my playstyle.
Were you doing bad things?
I was not doing bad things so much as I was doing responsible things. Which is not anything that Cliff Jumper will willingly do.
Were you overusing the stealth mechanic?
I was making very abusive use of the stealth mechanic, and I was also not doing irresponsible, highly dangerous things by jumping in the middle of shit. unlike Cliffjumper, who, shall we say, would rather you actually do jump into the middle of shit. So if they had decided to break the fourth wall with those games, I would have heard about it. I would really have heard about it. Oh dear. Like, Cliffjumper is the one in G1 who was, like, the second episode, right? Because the first... No, I think it was the third episode.
Maybe a third. It was the one not Prowl. It was the one Hound first showed up in, too.
I think it was the third. Wait, no, you're right. It was the second.
Yeah.
It was the second
Because Hound got messed up because of Cliffjumper and they had to go get him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because Cliffjumper couldn't shoot, apparently. He missed a Megatron, blew up the thing that they were all taking energy from, and got chased by Laserbeak and Laserbeak's drone. And Hound got a rocket up the back end. Because Cliffjumper was totally smart. Of course he couldn't be bothered to call in backup. Oh no, we can take him. Yeah, sure. That's not the only Cliffjumper moment, but yeah, that's definitely one of the most memorable ones.
Like, just like how we can sit and talk about moments like that where, you know, you had those 2 one-shot games that paid much more respect to the characters than these later fucking entire TV series.
Yeah, like, none of them have done anything, I would say, even remotely comparable.
Well, those character personalities are so broken in those shows.
Well, they've been breaking certain characters' personalities ever since the 86 movie.
Well, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, the 86 movie really, honestly, was probably ground zero for this. It was probably patient zero for the destruction of Transformers as a franchise. That was the part of the franchise where they first decided that Starscream was nothing but a traitorous, cowardly,
is that correct?
You know.
Well, have a look at what
sniveling little snake.
Have a look at what Waffles said in the chat.
No.
Shockwave had to hold him back to scribble his feelings in his diary. Oh god. Pretty sure he took Prime's sword and stabbed Megatron in the chest, saying his first line of the series. Bumblebee gets murdered, knocked in the nanomachine resurrection goo that can heal anything BS, so of course he comes back and gets the killing blow, cause that's the lazy writing.
Yeah, well, and like I said, Starscream was upset by this, right? Like, normally, if you had written him correctly,
well, usually that would be about the time.
Megatron.
That would have been about the point that if that, let's just say that's how that went down, right? I agree. That would have been the moment where Starscream would have popped out of nowhere, kicked Bumblebee out a window, and like, I'm the new leader.
Honestly, after everything that was done to Starscream in that series, he absolutely should have been the one making the killing blow on Megatron. And furthermore,
well, I'm more offended by the fact
that series put him through. He should have left the Decepticons entirely.
Yeah, I'm more offended by the fact that they didn't have him step up. It's like that stupid thing with the
they were never gonna do that.
It's like that stupid thing with that stupid thing with the new He-Man series where Evelyn just left when Skeletor was dethroned. Instead of, taking over like she'd been planning to for years.
No. Here's the thing, okay? After Megatron dies, he gets resurrected and decides this isn't the way, becomes a massive and bitch pacifist. And Starscream's going, what are you doing? You're supposed to be our leader. And Megatron's like, we've had it all wrong. And so Starscream throws a temper tantrum and decides he's the new, big... He's the leader of the Decepticons, and he's going to do the evil overlord thing. Well, I have many, many problems with this. First of all...
hi, Mary. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Welcome.
First of all, throughout the entire series, right, they've had Megatron undermining Starscream at every opportunity, right? Like, every single time. even when he tells Starscream to do something, Starscream goes and does it, and Megatron's right there to go either, no, not that way, or I told you not to, and beat the shit out of him. There's no way the Decepticons in Prime are gonna follow Starscream.
No.
So this is a major cop-out. Add to that, there's no way
I mean, even in
Starscream should leave
G1
Megatron alive after he's done this.
Yeah. I mean, but even in G1, when Starscream was, you know, himself, he only had limited support. So why the fuck would it work in this case?
Because cop-outs and lazy writing. Because somebody can't, they can't commit to anything. Where are we going?
Truck, not monkey.
Well, something like that, I guess.
I mean, I don't mind the script one. I don't remember.
Sure, let's go script. Well, we could go Skrit, Grawl, or Ogres.
Do you remember the other
Ogre
two?
one is kind of fun.
Is it?
Here,
You
let's
do
go
it if you want,
Ogres.
yeah.
The ogres.
I love his response. The ogres.
Oh, his reaction to the Skrit is even better.
I remember that
He
one.
doesn't like him.
Like,
So-
look, I didn't fucking offer these choices. Damn it.
Right? Yeah, that was all Elmora. If you want to be upset, take it up with her.
I'm sure that'll go well.
A new season of what announced?
Oh no.
Welcome, Brian.
Prime was ended / canceled after 3 seasons. It's done. It is done. And the reason it was ended / canceled was because it was getting terrible ratings. Like, the kids, because they didn't know any better, liked it, right? But the parents were mad as hell. The ratings plummeted.
'cause it's
The
a
only
bunch
reason it
of-
got 3 seasons was because it was contracted.
Because it's a bunch of subversive, revisionist fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it was. That's all it was
Ooh, watch
meant
it. Got a
for.
Minotaur.
I'm ignoring it. I can go faster than it can. But yeah, no, after everything that they put Starscream specifically through in that series and several other characters to a lesser degree, there was no way he should have stayed with the Decepticons. Technically speaking, if you wanted to get smart about it, they should have committed to the bit that G1 flaked out on and had Starscream join the Autobots.
Well, I
But
mean, he was
no, they
like in
couldn't
some
have that.
of the continuities, he was an Autobot to begin with.
I mean, if you want to get super duper technical, you could make that argument for G1 itself. But, like I said, and I can understand it from G1 because G1 is a super, super simple,
Yeah.
like, and it's got a structure that you couldn't really break.
Nah.
Because it was set up to where you had the hero, you had the villain, and you had the foil for the villain, which
Yeah.
Starscream was that. And that's why G1 could not commit to that bit.
Fair.
But if you were going to do... If you were going to do what you did to Starscream in Prime, you absolutely should have had him switch sides. And he should have... He should have kicked Optimus's ass for teaming up with fucking Megatron.
Brian, which war for Cybertron are you talking about? Are you talking about, like, the Netflix thing? I need confirmation on that before I can really comment.
I'll let you know when he says something.
Thank you. Did we get instanced again?
I think we did. I joined you.
Oh, no, there you are. I see you.
But that's the thing that they consistently do too, is they'll basically fuck over Starscream just so they can get their little fan fuck on and have Optimus work willingly or Megatron work willingly with Optimus. They can never, ever, ever just kill off Megatron. Every single fucking twat is so far up Megatron's ass. It's like, why don't you give him a full detailing while you're at it with your fucking tongue?
Get for pull-ups while you're there.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Let's see. He was talking to Netflix.
Yeah, Yeah, no, from everything I've seen, yeah. Did we go through the portal?
Yeah. We're going to Divinity's Reach.
Man, as like, I was laughing about, it's like
Hawk.
the attention to character detail and lore and shit in the Cybertron games on the PS2 was so superior. Even the voice acting was really good in those games.
Yeah. Like, it was great. Like, Jazz is fucking amazing.
Yes. And I really liked the bits where you played the Combaticons like Vortex and frickin' Swindle, because those were really good actors too.
Yeah. Now, I will say that to a certain point, there were a few things about it that galled me, but that's because I'm a little bit biased. I will freely admit that. Starscream is my favorite character, and I was a little disgusted that they decided to go with the cheap cop-out of the 86 movie and make him a freaking traitor for reasons.
Well, I could kind of see him wanting to fucking take over for Megatron, considering the
I could
history.
see that.
Where
I
did
could
you
see
go?
that, but what I didn't get, I went to Fields of Ruin.
Oh, you went through the portal? Okay.
Yeah. I could see that. What I didn't understand and what kind of galled me was their decision to basically make it so that Starscream, not Megatron, was the one who imprisoned the Combaticons and stuck them in a vault.
GoBots is better to watch than the last few TF series.
Sadly, yes, I agree.
I like the one that turns into a bike.
God. As unfortunate as it is, GoBots is a better Transformers
What the shit is
series
going
than
on here?
anything. Oh, they're going after a guild target.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm gonna get involved anyway.
I mean, it's there. We have not yet begun to...
Oh no, we got plenty more bullshit to go into.
Everything's bullshit. Everything. It's terrible. It's terrible, guys.
Oh man, every time I see something about what the freaking Wizards of the Coast team says about D&D, it just makes me further and further depressed
What have
for
you
my
done?
hobby.
No.
We're gonna pretend that was not mentioned.
Oh god, that hurts my
D&D.
brain. Stop.
Wizards of the
We're
Coast.
already
No,
hurting our
bad.
brains.
The worst human being of all time, Jeremy Crawford.
He's up there with Chin Balls and fucking Kurtzman.
Talentless, clinging on whore that he is.
Yeah, pretty much identical to the other two.
I think
Pretty
he
much.
actually has less talent than Kurtzman.
As if Kurtzman has any talent.
Man,
at all.
that's a margin you set up right there. Holy fuck.
Oof. Are we sure they're not all one and the same? Like they're
Maybe
not
they're
all
like pod
rep-
people
like-
or some shit, you know?
The busiest man on earth, just constantly taking mask off.
Yeah, you know? That would fucking follow.
And today I ruined GoBots!
Oh, God.
Wait a second, they did that already.
For fuck's sake! Honestly, they should have gotten you to voice He-Man instead of Hamill. He just did the Joker. That was
He
all.
did, and we all knew he was gonna do it too.
I actually do
Oh,
a
yeah.
better Skeletor than that, but right now my voice is blown out, so... I used to do it because I worked in an elementary school,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and I helped out with a lot of the kids with special needs. So I do voices for them to help calm them down.
Hmm.
In some
Gotcha.
cases.
Okay, that makes sense. Apparently, we have to go through here.
Looks that way.
That and I had a strong
Oh.
interest in animation, so I wanted to do voice acting as well.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But-
I applaud you, sir.
I had actually forgot about that.
And then my
Well, it's
my
like I
father
told you the
screwed me
story
over,
about before,
so-
like with my art college. I didn't finish my finals because all the shit that was going on. Like, I was literally just waiting to do my finals for my art college. And
Yeah.
I did end up doing it. Honestly, as much as that bothered me for years, I don't care anymore because I've seen just how shitty, like, entertainment, art, and comics and everything ended up. I'm kind of grateful I didn't get into
Well,
it.
around the time that
Yeah.
you gave up on it and I moved away from it was when Cal Arts really started to
Exactly.
move into the market and just kill everything.
Around the time I decided to not pursue it is when everything started going right the fucking hell.
So, strangely enough, decent timing in a sad way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna grab this
unfortunately,
waypoint.
I did the same thing.
That, and you had the other thing where one of the bigger groups for animation even then was Disney, and they did not allow you to credit yourself.
Well, they didn't allow you to credit yourself. They were killing off their Imagineers. The animation department was going away.
Well, another thing they were doing, right, was if you drew anything at all, and I do mean anything.
Oh,
and
it
didn't
became
even
property
have to
of
be
Disney.
drawn at the studio.
Yep.
Disney would take possession of all of your intellectual
At the moment you worked for them under any kind of contract, everything you ever created became Disney intellectual property, and I had no fucking interest in fucking having my creative fucking, endeavors chained to some other asshole who didn't do nothing.
That's the first thing is make sure you keep your own works to yourself.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And you advertise your stuff from there, because unfortunately you're going to have to build your own entertainment.
Yeah, well, that's why when, I've talked about before, I'm working on a book, and to anybody who doesn't know, I'm not bullshitting around. I'm actually working on a book. I'm almost finished with it.
He's gone. He's rolling. It's great too, by the way. Like,
I am enjoying it. As painful as the last chapter has been to actually write, I am enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, and the rest of us are going to be trying to help him get it published too, so that's going to be a thing at some point in the future.
Yeah,
I'd encourage anybody that has ideas or they want to create something to try.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we're watching Star Wars, Star Trek,
Revan.
on and on, basically collapse in on itself.
Yeah,
and they're all going to become Flash Gordon. They'll be remembered, but vaguely. More for the names than anything.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who still like Flash Gordon, but the cultural awareness is most people just recognize the names. That's the destiny for Star Trek and Star Wars at this point.
Well, that's the destiny for pretty much everything.
The Critical Drinker put a thing out this morning, as did basically that, Star Trek is well and fucking truly dead now. This is the date that it died. The minute Kurtzman got a renewal on his contract.
Though I might refine that a little bit, Star Wars is likely to be more akin to Flash Gordon and Star Trek John Carter.
That might not be a bad analog, actually.
Yeah.
And I say that because there's even fewer people who remember what John Carter is.
Right.
And it had become so niche that it just kind of exists.
Well, he's from the same continuity as Deja Thoris, ain't he?
Yeah, she's from John Carter.
Exactly.
And it's good. It's a great series. But just like a lot of things, mismanagement, bad timing, and stupidity from studios really were what killed it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sad to think that I could have kids and they'll be like, "What's Star Wars?"
You know what, CFW? If you could get away with it and not get sued by Nintendo, I would say fucking go for it.
Right?
Yes.
Also,
remember,
Brian Rubsha says, after I get to the Rodimus Galvatron arc, I'm done with Hasbro for a while after these crappy shows and CRT stuff. Dude, unfortunately, I don't think that it's ever going to be done with. Like, I don't think they're ever going to stop it. This is what we're stuck with now, unfortunately.
And I'll say this: Beastman would be a preferable new He-Man than the likely candidate. Because at least then you'd have testicles.
Oh, they're probably going to do one. I would say they're probably going to do one worse and make it Andra.
No, that's who I was going to say, because that would be more insulting.
Yeah.
Actually, Revan did mention that earlier this morning.
Yeah, he
too.
did. And I would honestly believe that they would go for just, we're going to make the woman of color the new He-Man. fuck off.
That's right, kids. Like, we need to make this more bulletproof.
This has become such tropey, obtrusive bullshit that no one even gives a fuck anymore.
Well, let's put it in a really simple way. It's using people, races, and things as bullet shields.
Yeah, and it ain't working no more.
And that's the disgusting part about it, is that they're boiling people down to who gives us, the people monetizing these things, the most protection.
Yeah. Well, and the shitty part about it is too, like, they're not even making money off of it.
Jet, what the fuck
right?
are you doing?
Well, I know. I'm just saying that this is the
He's just
problem
observing
we're
that they like to
running
do this shit so they can put up the convenient shield of, oh, well, our critics are just racists and istophobes and thisophobes and thatophobes. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I hate collectivizing people, so it really bothers me when I see these massive corporations. Like, just to use this for example, I refer to Pride Month as Sales Month.
Because that's what
it
is.
Pretty much is. That's
You
what
could also call it Exploitation Month, and you'd be accurate.
It's a celebration of something named after a vice, commercialized and pushed by corporations so that they can rainbow color something and sell it to people.
Time to
for
get
upmarket.
crispy, bitches.
And I'm like, we're letting corporations turn people into cells.
Okay, we cannot go very much further this way before we run out of the instance.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
We gotta go this way.
I got distracted.
It's okay. It needed to die. It was there.
Also, I don't like the fucking branded.
I would definitely say there, Brian, that
you bypassed the one that was.
It hasn't been He-Man in a long, long time.
Not since 2002.
And trust me, I guarantee that these same Mongoloids in there were going, oh my god, can we use the word masters?
Oh god.
So, don't doubt that they might even actually try to alter that.
Oh yeah, I would guarantee you that they will. Like, this is, and it's not just Netflix and not just all of this either. No, I mean,
it's mainstream media.
It's mainstream media, and it's all the people that they consistently bringing to work in on these, right? They always bring the most snide, smug piece of shit up their own ass dickwads in to write for these things because they know they don't care.
Well, I would say it's not so much the emo kids that did this. I'd say it's the same moralist that we had in the 90s.
You mean the screaming soccer bombs and shit from
they
like
just
the
took
D&D era?
They just took the moral end out of it and continued shaking their fingers at people.
No. I said nothing about emos.
No, it's Brian said that.
Oh, gotcha.
Jack, settle down.
But
the emos were actually kind of edgy and did their own thing.
You know what? Emos are what the wannabe edgelords turned into later.
Well, I would say this, is that we've had these kind of people for a very long time. It's just societally, we've always had pushback against it. In time, this will all pass, and it will become something people make fun of in the future because it's so absurd.
Oh, now he's up there. He was back here on my screen.
Just like the overly religious soccer mom who was screaming Satan's taking her baby.
Yeah, Harry Potter launched Satan into my baby's brain. Motherfucking lady, are you serious?
It was a thing. Like, really, bitch?
It was the same thing with D&D in the 80s and 90s, you know?
Yeah, because I was going to say, I
my grandma swallowed all that hook, line, and sinker.
Of course.
I lived through this in the 80s. It's just good. In the next 10 years, even 5, it'll be a new group of people with a new complaint. And that's the sad part, unfortunately.
It's still bullshit, and it doesn't make me appreciate it anymore.
I'm gonna resurrect John Core.
Well, Brian, that's what we call collectivist. Unfortunately, it's the idea I'm gonna buy an overpriced shirt with a logo on it, and then call myself a freaking rebel. I don't understand how that works, but, you know, more power to them, I guess. Alright, so we've covered Transformers. We've covered
Part
that
of it.
Kurtzman has no dick. We've confirmed this.
Well, if he does, it needs to be cut off and jammed down his throat.
Just put him into the ghost catcher. It'd be fine. We've talked about voice actors because the Transformers thing was so pathetic. Shall we cover the sudden end to a long suffering demise that was for our once dear and trusted and loyal friend, kind of like a dog, taken out back by the CBS crew and just
You're really pushing that old yellow shit, ain't you?
Yeah. It really is. Why, I don't know, but he is.
The morbid spectacle that is the death of Star Trek under the no-dicked man.
Do you mean the fact that they, like, put the shock panels to it briefly and then beat it to death again?
Right?
They didn't put the...
Right while Kurtzman was committing necrophilia on the corpse.
They were just putting the shock panels to the head over and over again.
God.
Why won't it work?
Why won't it come back to life, guys?
And then Kurtzman's like, I like it when it twitches.
God.
Meanwhile, CBS is over there. Why no electricity? Zappy no worky.
Where is my pay pig?
Oh.
This is why we like ArenaNet, guys. ArenaNet has no concept of pander to the idiots.
Yeah, that's why PvP isn't bleed over into the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, I wasn't shocked when I heard the announcement.
Who was? I was disappointed, but I wasn't surprised.
I was not surprised in the slightest.
I look at it in a very basic way. We have execs and people in charge who know nothing about the franchise and obviously don't care because they don't have their pay tied to performance, which it should be. I believe the Geico CEO has that along with some of the other people there. Yeah. So he doesn't get paid as well if they don't make as much money. I think that would fix a number of these issues if we tied people's incomes to performance.
And yes, Brian, Picard was a fucking dumpster fire in stereo.
Yes, it was. He says he'd rather watch a prime timeline with Wesley in command. Yeah, so would everyone.
Wow. I mean, you're not wrong, but that idea hurts my brain.
Oh, all this screaming in my brain, it didn't stop for a minute. Oh. I thought they said something about Wesley and puking hard, and I blanked out, and where am I now? Anyways.
So we have to beat these things until they actually become tame.
That's an unusual way to do it.
I know, right?
The Vandals have resurrected themselves, moved from Rome, and they just keep attacking Hollywood. It's amazing. Aren't these Romans? No, they're Hollywood.
There we go.
They're a bunch of gay little... I stopped myself for your stream.
Yeah!
They're
definitely Romans.
We may have already tanked it with our rage at
I'm not convinced. Looking at my numbers, I'm not convinced I ain't been shadow banned already.
I mean, it is us. It is us, after all.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what we need to make. We need to get you a merch store, and one of the shirts is shadow banned.
Ah!
Yeah.
And it's got like some shades.
Piece free.
There you go.
Hey, give me a hand over here. I got two waiting to get tamed.
Beat them till they give in. That won't be taken out of context.
What we're doing.
I guess no one's really gotten much to say at this point.
It's all terrible.
It's
Everything is broken, and that thing flew.
Whoa! What the fuck? Why did it fly in? How did it? Oh shit! It just whooped the hell out of that ogre too.
It did.
It just literally flew out of the sky and whooped her ass.
It did. All right, bitch.
Well, what would you guys like to talk about instead?
Oh my lord.
Moving on from the.
Oh wow, we got it
giving a
already.
care anymore.
Let's see. What did the chat say? Eventually, the drones will watch whatever. Yeah, yes and no. See, the problem is that the drones ain't biting the way they used to.
Yeah.
That's why
like,
Netflix and
falling for
fucking
it.
Disney Plus and shit keep losing subscribers. Because it ain't going down like they thought it was gonna.
And yet my
I need one.
There's still some people watching this bullshit, but the numbers keep dropping.
Isn't that enough? Or should I blow kisses and throw
Well,
candy?
technically, Armchair, they do, but China's actually icing out a lot of entertainment now.
Yep, and
I don't think,
and it's their
I
own. It's their own damn fault for pandering to the communist fucks. Now they're going to take it right in the ass.
The Marvel movies are getting ready to not be allowed at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to start pushing a lot of the American properties out completely.
Yeah.
It's going to become a power play from China at this point.
And
they want to sell you product, not buy it.
And fuck them, and it doesn't make any difference because a lot of shit come from China. Nobody's really paying any attention to that either. I think China's misestimating their market here.
I think one of the big problems is that it's the corporations that misestimated. They thought they're going to be able to move into China and get this huge market, and then they found that the government is going to control it, that they're going to have to work with a partner, then as soon as those partners grow substantially powerful enough, and they don't think they need the companies anymore, they just simply throw them out. So the China funds.
Another thing too, with people trying to break into the Chinese market, there are laws in China against homosexual.
I don't think Phase 4 should be allowed in America either, Brian.
If only the CCP would disallow it from being shown here, I would agree with them. It'd be the one thing we'd have in common. We could bro fist like from Predator at that one thing, and then I shoot them.
What's your next piece?
But
it's right there. You're running around the floating star.
But I do think that's what we're gonna start seeing, because I need more data than we have presently. But I got a feeling that a lot of people are being so utterly turned off with most of the entertainment, air quotes, being put out, that you can see across the spasm of just people unsubscribing from things like Netflix, the increased lower numbers for television and a lot of these shows. I mean, some of these shows
mass unsubscribing from everything at this point.
When you think about it, they're such tiny pools of viewers. It's like when Markiplier is getting more views than nationwide TV on just garbage videos that he throws out. Like, he could put a video of him shitting while playing Tetris.
Dude, look, Terrorizer put out a video the other day, right? Of him opening shit people sent him with his two fucking, his two dogs, which are these two Malamutes. And he literally put a thing in his video said, "I know you're only gonna watch this for our dogs."
Right? And people still watch
Yes.
I mean...
And it's probably...
We all knew that was gonna happen.
Insanely higher numbers.
Yeah.
At this point, what I think the entertainment industry is running up against is something that they can't really do unless, they stranglehold things. And we'll see how that goes. And that is entertainment similar to this, where people can come and interact and talk. And you can sit there and talk to the person creating the entertainment.
Yeah, and tell them what works and what doesn't.
It's more interactive. The personalities are more on a basic level. Plus the production cost. If you have ever worked even around a minor studio, just producing a simple news show costs an absolute fortune.
Because you gotta pay fucking prep, you gotta pay for sets, equipment, fucking all that shit.
Well, I want to say...
Just staffing is a nightmare.
Yeah, well, and I want to say at some point, because Britain is actually running into a problem now where almost like something like a quarter, or maybe it's up to half of the population just dropped their television licenses.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's been a big thing for the last few months.
And it was because of them putting Chibnall on Doctor Who. The destruction of Doctor Who destroyed British television. They can't get anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely a factor.
I think that's actually it's deeper than just that. That's one element.
It's deeper than just that.
Like if
but
you,
that's like the biggest
but I feel like that was one of the alarm bells.
You have to take the BBC as a whole and look at their programming.
Their programming is insulting to their own people.
It's very insulting.
Britain is trying to replace their population with quote-unquote refugees.
And they can't.
So-called refugees.
They can't do it.
Which is a stupid idea. They don't have the room.
Nope, and they don't have the fucking numbers either.
In fact, they would be better served by naturally allowing the older population to die out naturally, and then open up more room and opportunities for the younger generations and allow that energy to...
well, they're never going to do that, though. They're way too fussed on their foreign nationals.
And that will be what collapses them. But
yeah,
hey,
pretty much.
if you're talking British politics, here's a bright spot for everybody.
You mean the Labour Party issues?
The Labour Party is about to go bankrupt. They also lost a massive number of their party membership. So, I mean, it's positive in the regard that the Labour Party is trash and always has been.
Yeah.
That's not saying anything good about the Tories.
No, not really.
But that is one bright spot. But I think one thing a lot of countries in the West are going to have to accept is that we have mushroom populations. We have a massive, just to put it in one regard, baby boomer generation overall that outnumbers, 2 to 3 generations after them? That holds a massive degree of the wealth, money, property, business interest, jobs. And your population will ebb and flow, and we just have to accept that.
Well, and that's the problem. We discussed this before, you and me, is the boomers can't let shit go.
No.
They cling to shit like a fucking leech.
And this is not to say that we want people to be exiled or anything. It's
but they need to step back.
You want the world to progress as it had naturally done before, but a big factor in this is also
yes, we do, Brian. Well, actually, 2 of us do. My brother mostly helps work on my channel.
I haven't started a channel yet.
Yeah.
We still intend to help you defend your claim.
I plan on doing a channel, but it's going to be a little bit more entertainment focused, and less on games per se. That's
we're gonna because the game stuff's gonna be on my channel. We got a capture card coming in, and then we got to get a laptop set up because then we're gonna actually start streaming shit off of my consoles once we get that set up.
But I will be talking about things like the stuff going on with Games Workshop.
Oh,
just
God.
for example.
Oh, the Games Workshop shit. Ooh,
in fact, a good idea of what the video would be is a black screen with white text that says, "This is what GW wants from fan creators." Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, somebody needs to tell me how to put wrenches on people in my fucking streams, because I will fix that.
So,
wait, is that tonight or that's tomorrow? Is today
that's
Monday?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, you might want to. That's tomorrow night, not tonight. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to tell me how to do that. I've never done it before.
So you'd have to bring up your stream on your own desktop.
Let me do it real quick. Hold on. I'm doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, currently we are wrenching it. The stream will continue on in a moment, but thank you for being here.
How I do this shit? We'll fix that.
So, oh, fuck right off.
What? I didn't do nothing.
Some idiot responded to me with, "It was SJWs in the 80s that made female Transformers and She-Ra. Stupid as shit then and stupid as shit 1,000 times now." No, it wasn't! It was the parents and some of the kids asking for female Transformers.
Was that somebody in my chat?
No, it was someone responding to a comment I left on a video talking about how stupid the new Netflix
okay,
Transformers
so how do I wrench somebody?
So, How to wrench someone. Where is... Hang on, I'm gonna find your stream here. So you
manage
hover
moderators. Manage moderators.
Yeah.
Okay, let me wait for it to bring up my shit.
AW says he's at work. He's just watching the stream for funsies. Did you have fun listening to us rage?
Oh shit, I have to find your channel.
You should be able to, in your chat list, you should be able to, hover over our names and, like, right-click on us or something and click, like, there should be a drop menu that you can bring up and add mod.
That is incorrect. What's this, though?
Let me find the link.
Add moderator. Okay, I'm putting you on there, and I'm going to put AW on there. There you go. That should give you guys the shit.
And you shouldn't give people that.
Yeah, you
Yeah, it's horrible. What is this? Warhammer
All right.
Fantasy?
Let me see if you guys check that as if that worked properly.
Well, let me bring up... I'm still trying to find your link so I can bring it up on my desktop.
I'm sorry.
Because I am bad at this!
It happens, right?
So hilariously, I made categories so I could find shit in my own server, and it's still not.
Well, it's like, and I agree, they need to go back and watch them. Like, I actually got a collection of the original, like, Masters of the Universe that I watched as a kid that I've just recently started rewatching, and like, yeah, they look a little bit goofy, and the voice acting's not as good. It's like, but they're still good shows.
Well, I would say this. It's the surest way to tell someone who's a fake.
Yeah, no kidding.
So there is no need to tell these people to watch it. You just go, okay, this person doesn't know what they're talking about, and most likely just went on Google and checked out images.
It's like, because I went back and I started rewatching Silverhawks and, like, the original Masters of the Universe, and I'm like, yeah, these are still fun shows to watch. Just don't be a dick.
So I have a wrench.
Okay, cool. That means AW should too, then.
Yeah.
Because I sent both of you. Okay, then we're good to go. Do we want to keep going, or
I'll drop a link.
Okay. Do we want to get going, or do we need to take a break?
Up to you. I don't mind keeping going because I have not yet begun to run out of rage.
Well, have at it then. Shit, keep it going if you got it.
I am perfectly happy to keep beating the shit out of things right now. Because that upset me, and I am ready to tear every asshat in the universe a new asshole. Like, why do people think that this was not... Humans need to fuck the hell off.
Apparently we're supposed to speak to somebody.
Are we supposed to... Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. We are actually supposed to speak to someone. Defend Agrat Crawl from Oldex Branded. Speak to Lagula. I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff in my inventories.
Oh, I haven't even looked.
Well, considering it's my story missions, you probably won't end up with a bunch of boxes.
Oh, not boxes, but I end up picking up shit on occasion. I'm probably have to sift through
Gotcha.
something.
This is... I need to drop instance.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize we were at that point.
Okay, Ryan is... I can't English right now.
You mean Brian?
Sorry, guys. Brian wants to know if Optimus Primal's VA was black.
Maybe? I don't know. I'm more like, why didn't you just get Peter Cullen back? He loves doing that role.
Dude, Peter Cullen basically is Optimus Prime at this point. I'm still very, very peeved at Alex Kurtzman for dragging him and Frank Welker into Prime.
Spiders.
Like, I would actually like to punch that man in the mouth for that. The absolute worst thing. Well, one of the worst.
No, not the worst, but definitely bad. Oh, here we go.
Like, he dragged them into that travesty. Like, how? Why? I'm glad. I'm honestly kind of glad that some of the other voice actors were not around for that. Can you imagine if he dragged Chris Latta into that? Ugh.
Or Scatman Crothers if he was still around?
Yes. Well,
Oh,
okay.
God.
I don't think he could have dragged Scatman into it because
Maybe
they
not.
decided that Jazz didn't exist in Prime.
Oh, God, you're right.
Jazz is not in Prime.
I mean, I'm kind of glad, but still.
In Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and Beast Wars Transmetals, it was Gary Chalk.
Gary Chalk, yeah, that's another white dude. I know who
Transformers Power of the Primes, it's Ron Perlman.
Fucking
Power
what?
of the Primes is a terrible thing, by the way. It does not need
And
to
he's
exist. It's much
also-
like KISS players. Most fans don't acknowledge it.
He's also going to be in Transformers Rise of the Beast. Ron Perlman will be the voice actor again.
Weird.
God.
Check with Gorkin.
So,
He's in charge of our
okay,
defenses.
there we go.
Thanks again.
Back to my Alpha
Perlman's-
Legion conspiracy theories.
Perlman's a fine VA, but he's not Prime.
Yeah.
Want more Clayface?
Yeah, seriously.
Well, so Transformers Animated, the 2001 one. They actually didn't have Peter Cullen doing Optimus. I forget who they did have doing him.
I don't know on that one. I know it was Gary
But it
Chalk
wasn't
in
Peter
Beast
Cullen.
Wars and Beast Machines.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I don't know why they didn't get Peter Cullen. Maybe they weren't able to pay
Maybe
for him.
something else is going on. Maybe they didn't want to
Or-
pay for him. I don't know.
Or maybe there was just a scheduling conflict.
That could have been any number of things like that.
I believe it was one of the same issues that they had in 2001 when they did Animated.
Oof.
And Animated was kind of an unnecessary thing too, so I didn't like it. Also, they fucked up Blitzwing. Like, fuck you. Dude, they made him have. They made Blitzwing have split personality disorder.
That's not how triple changes work.
No, it's not. But do you think they cared?
No.
Exactly. They didn't give a fuck. Pop that too early.
That would be like making combiners fucking codependent.
God. I mean, G1, they couldn't properly combine when they lost Brawl's brain.
Well, that's not exactly codependency. That's a
No.
malfunction.
That was funny, was what that was.
Also, that was
Also,
a weird
that
ass episode.
That was the weakest. That was one of, if not the weakest episode of G1. That was a really weak episode, and the
Was
voice
it?
in that episode really should have been
I was
stuck in
gonna
a fucking
say,
padded room.
yeah. I don't know why they kept making the smart girl kind of the foil for everyone else.
Well, what they did, right, was make her the fall guy for those stupid
Yeah.
boys.
Which is funny because you never see them again, but she shows up again later and shit, which is weird.
Something tells me that parents and kids alike did not like that.
Because she shows back up later as like a robotics scientist.
Yeah,
We know way too much about this shit.
we do. We know way too much
Oh
about this.
shit, there's a devourer in here.
Well, at least we haven't evolved into Alpha Legion memes.
Oh
We're good.
yeah, I forgot that. That was actually one of, along with the French version of G1, that was one of the things that really got people deciding that, yes, we can actually do trans Transformers.
Nah!
The 2001 animated series, I didn't like animated. Animated was kind of terrible in many ways.
Yeah?
Like, yes, it was what brought us Slipstream. Animated and the Japanese manga it was developed from were what brought us the travesty that was Slipstream.
And I honestly, I kind of adore Slipstream, but those are
They
bad.
could have made a better character of her.
Yes.
Is
And honestly,
my problem.
some media did make a better character of her later,
Yeah,
but it seems like it
it was
was
like a
never
game
the
that
mainstream
made a better
stuff
character of her.
that did it, you know?
yeah, it was always just side stuff, and no
Yeah.
one wanted to actually make something of Slipstream. It was like they didn't like her. They wanted to force us to like her, but they didn't like her.
Which doesn't
Why I
fucking
don't
help.
know.
I don't get. She's a good design. Just do something with her.
I mean, okay, personally, for me, I think they could have made her look more feminine, and they could have definitely made her less of a... She's Starscream, but better, because she's a girl, guys.
And that's what bothers me, is like almost every piece of third-party media she appears in, including toys, she looks better.
Yeah, it's so dumb that they cannot get...
Did you see the version of her they designed for the multiplayer in the Cybertron games?
Yes, I did.
She looked fucking awesome.
That was actually pretty great. That was great, is what that was.
It's like, why can't
right?
you guys do this?
Because they're fucking lazy. That is the only thing I can figure out.
Work. Ew.
It is insane.
Yeah. Kitala, when we finish this, I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up, mostly because I actually realize I have to start feeding animals and shit.
Oh yeah, you got babies that need
Yeah.
foods. Well, this is the end of the instance we can knock off.
Well, let's pop out of here and then we'll do that. Now, anybody that's watching this enjoying this, Kitala linked her channel tomorrow evening, afternoon, depending on where you live. We will be doing Guild Wars again. We'll just be streaming on her channel. Let's pop out of here.
Yeah, Brian, I remember. Ugh, Lugnut. Fuck.
Oh no!
My life.
No.
Yeah, Lugnut was trans. Okay, and another thing because, like I said, the entire Transformers franchise ever since the 1986 movie has been an incestuous clusterfuck of interchangeably Marvel and studio fuckery.
And IDW later on, who actually managed to somehow make it worse.
Yeah, well, IDW decided that despite RC having always been a female Transformer, they decided that she was originally a male Transformer and was forcibly given a sex change.
Bullshit.
Yes, IDW is nothing but sheer, rotting, fermenting bullshit.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
No! I don't want to.
Okay, fine.
We'll see, because I need to keep my blood pressure down.
A couple of Discords.
Yes, we do.
I will have to figure out. I will have to confer. I don't like giving out my Discord publicly.
I understand. Yeah.
So
I don't tend to do that either.
I will tell you what I will do is I will give you my email and we'll work something out.
What is going on?
Yeah, don't ever read that dumpster fire, Brian. It's horrific. There is so much in IDW that I am not even going to touch right now because we'd be here all day and Favre's cats would never get lunch.
Yeah, that would be bad, because I've already had Jet trying to climb up my back during the stream.
Why are you talking about robots?
People think some of the most ridiculous shit. It is insane, and falling for this idea of, oh, well, this was always a thing, or this wasn't a thing, and it was just because SJWs was like, no.
No.
Part of the reason that we had female Transformers to begin with was because, first of all, parents were wondering why there were not female Transformers, because, well, and the reason for Elita 1 in particular, right? Parents wanted a role model for their daughters because
guess what? It wasn't just girls that were watching fucking Transformers.
It wasn't just boys.
It wasn't just boys.
The girls
it wasn't
liked
just
it
girls.
too.
Whoa, one time, guys.
And on top of that,
it was that same thing with G.I. Joe. It wasn't just boys watching G.I. Joe.
Well, and on top of that, another thing they did, another reason that they finally broke down and said, okay, fine, we'll do female Transformers, was some of the boys were wondering why can't Optimus Prime have a girlfriend? Spike does.
True.
That was an actual question that kids were asking.
Oh, shit.
Well, there was nothing out there.
I didn't mean to do that. Bump my controller.
I mean, I do that all the time, so.
All right,
But
let's go ahead and cut
this
this out
whole
before
thing
we
is
get
just a
on another
clusterfuck.
tangent.
I know, right?
We can probably pick up some of these tangents on the next one anyway. Oh shit! Why'd I do
Yeah.
that? Ow.
Oh, you fell.
Yeah,
That's what you
I'm
did.
fine. I don't know how I
That's
did that. but
right,
I
ladies
did.
and gentlemen.
Fuck it.
Tune in next time for the continued rant about Transformers.
No,
God.
I don't want to talk about that shit.
Too late. You already committed.
No, I didn't.
Brian
I
says-
agreed to nothing.
Brian says, "Why make new?"
You know what,
characters
Josh?
when We can just have old
You know what,
ones?"
Josh? Look at the screen
Yeah.
because here is my response.
Oh, hold on. I gotta scroll up. Yeah,
Also,
to fall
Revan
off
says,
things?
"Where's my wrench?"
No, I mean look at the screen in the game. Look at my
Look
character.
Okay. I sees him.
That's your
He's got
response.
a little bit of a delay, but yeah.
That's all you're getting out of me on that.
Just standing there. Okay.
No, he said no and shook his head.
Ah, we'll wear you down.
No, you won't.
That's right,
I don't
kids.
want to fucking talk about that shit.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell strangers on the street, throw things at the bus that say, subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Later,
Catch you later,
later
guys.
guys.